Hi, and welcome to Life Change Community. Here's a prayer principle that can change your life. You've heard the adage, no one goes it alone. In the world of prayer, the adage is, no one prays it alone. Just recently, the Tuesday night small group Bible study that I have the privilege to be a part of and to lead in the teaching, we were covering Romans chapter 15. In that chapter, Paul says to his dear friends, pray for me. Now I want to give you some context. This is Paul, who God used to write most of the New Testament. So much of the teaching on prayer from the New Testament comes from the pen of the Apostle Paul. Paul was a man whose life was rugged, whose circumstances were hard, who knew how to pray, who prayed without ceasing. He instructs us in this. He teaches us how to pray so that we have peace that passes all understanding. This is Paul, the prayer expert. If anybody should be able to pray all by themselves, on their own, connect with God and get answers to their prayers, it's the Apostle Paul. So what does this prayer expert say to his friends? Pray for me. Why? There's something powerful, something cohesive, something connecting, something that gets in touch with the things of God in a way that praying alone simply does not. The power and the presence of Jesus, it's kind of like a cloud just hovers around and surrounds and impacts everybody who's praying. The more praying, the more that cloud of God's presence and the power and activity of God seems to be at work. And you say, Brad, how do you know this? Well, here's how I know it. If praying alone was enough, then Paul, the greatest prayer expert ever outside of Jesus, would have said, I can just pray alone. But here's Paul, a man who'd lived a long time by the time he wrote Romans chapter 15, a man who had experienced a lot of praying and a lot of answers to prayer. This man, Paul, knew that praying it alone, going it alone, was not wise. But asking his friends to pray for him made a difference for Paul. It's something oddly comforting, deeply calming when I ask friends to pray for me, and when they say they will and actually do, it certainly changes my life.